Hello everyone, we're following breaking news right now. Search and rescue crews are working to save 17 people trapped by a flash flood near Tanque Verde Falls. I want to go right to video of one of the rescues that happened a little bit earlier. You can see how much water that we are talking about. Now the first call for help came in a little bit after 5:30. Tonight, one man has critical injuries after a fight in the middle of a downtown street.
It happened Saturday night on Congress Street.
Our house is gone, guys! Oh my God, our house is gone!
Devastating wildfires still burning out of control across the state of California.
And fire destroys a historic building in Bisbee. City Hall goes up in flames.
And tragedy here in Tucson. A mother and her young son died after getting hit by a car in Midtown. The Tucson community is grieving the loss of a mother and her young son after they were hit and killed by a car this morning.
Yes, Anna Menser and her 7-year-old son Ethan Menser were hit while walking to school this morning. Here is a growing memorial, and this is live footage right now, the site of the crash near Pima and Mountain View Avenue. Ethan was a second grader.
In the last 24 hours, the Burro Fire has more than tripled in size, growing to 5,000 acres. The fire started Thursday morning and has been spreading east ever since. Tonight, evacuations are in place near the base of the mountain and all the way up to the Palisades. Summer Haven residents have been given a pre-evacuation notice. News 4 Tucson's Sam Salzwedel is live near the mountain. And Sam, you say you just talked to one of the evacuees?
Meantime, Bisbee City Hall was destroyed by fire this morning. It took fire crews hours to get this one under control. The roof of the historic building nearly collapsed on firefighters. News 4 Tucson's Lupita Murillo talked to residents about what this building means to them. And we've posted a gallery of photos from that fire. You can find them on our website, kvoa.com.
And a woman is in surgery tonight after being hit by a SunTran bus. It happened this evening near Grant and First. Officials say she was arguing with the bus driver after he refused to let her on the bus. As the bus pulled away, the rear tire ran over the woman. She was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. No one on the bus was hurt.
We're gonna die, dude! We gotta get out of here!
A pair of roommates narrowly escaping one of the wildfires in California. The death toll tonight now up to 40.
Also tonight, Tucson police are investigating a shooting in a busy area downtown. News 4 Tucson at 10 starts right now.
Investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson, live at 10.
First, we are following some breaking news. 4 people are now safe after getting lost this afternoon.
They were mountain biking in Catalina State Park when they got lost. Officials say the group called for help but didn't have any food or emergency supplies like water. Emergency responders used a helicopter to try and find them. Some of the bikers had to get medical attention before they could be brought out, but they were all brought out safely.
And an organization has launched a campaign to ban the hunting of wildcats here in Arizona. A group called Arizonans for Wildlife is leading the effort to get rid of all mountain lion and bobcat hunting. News 4 Tucson's Sam Salzwedel has a story for you. It's new at 10.
For $52, an Arizona resident can buy a license and tag to hunt mountain lions and bobcats. Some people want to take that option away from hunters. Almost all year in Arizona, people can hunt mountain lions and bobcats. Nancy Youngwright is volunteering for the campaign to end the hunting and trapping of wild cats.
I find that really repulsive. I don't think there's any need to be hunting animals for trophies just for somebody's bragging rights. The animals can manage themselves. They don't need us to be out there, quote unquote, culling their numbers.
According to the latest year's data was available from the Arizona Game and Fish Department, hunters killed 322 mountain lions and 781 bobcats. 867 bobcats were trapped. Mick Rusing is a hunter who's never killed a mountain lion but does not want it banned.
I'm opposed to this legislation for the same reason I would be opposed if hunters got together and said, let's double the number of tags Game and Fish wants to issue. They shouldn't trump Game and Fish, and neither should anti-hunters. So we should leave it to the professionals.
The effort's primarily supported by the Humane Society of the United States. The group's president and CEO, Wayne Pacelli, was just in Arizona launching the campaign. This is video of him in Tucson at an unrelated event.
Groups like the Humane Society, they try everything they can do to stop hunting of any type and all types. And so they'll go for the one that they get the most sympathy on.
Biologists manage Arizona's wildlife. But Nancy Young-Wright believes that agency has a bias.
Unfortunately, the Game and Fish Agency isn't really a balanced agency, in my opinion. They tend to be totally skewed towards the hunting side of the equation. And the wildlife in this state belongs to all of us, not just the hunters.
The campaign needs about 151,000 signatures by July 5th. The initiative would also ban hunting lynx, jaguars, and ocelots, which is already illegal, but would make sure the season would never open, even if those animals became common in Arizona. Sam Salzwedel, News 4 Tucson.
Thanks, Sam. Developing tonight, the Tucson Police Department is investigating a shooting with multiple crime scenes along Congress Street downtown. Investigators say a group of people started arguing at the Ronstadt Center. Someone with a gun fired several shots. Then everyone took off from the scene. No injuries have been reported and no one has been arrested. Hotel Congress was also closed off with crime scene tape after police found shell casings there. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or 88 Crime.
Tucson police are also investigating a deadly early morning crash. It happened near Speedway in Greasewood around 5 a.m. The driver went off of the road, was ejected, and then died from their injuries. 4 other people who were in that car then ran away. 2 of them have not yet come forward, and investigators say speed and alcohol appear to be factors.
Arizona is facing a backlog of bodies waiting to be buried or cremated. Death certificates can't be generated due to technical issues with the health department's new database. One health official says some counties may be forced to use refrigerated storage trucks for bodies. The state is temporarily allowing counties to use paper records.
President Donald Trump is continuing to send tough tweets directed at North Korea, but Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says the U.S. is still working on a diplomatic solution to the North Korean crisis. News 4 Tucson's Jennifer Johnson has more on the increasing international tension.
2 weeks after President Trump told his Secretary of State he was wasting his time negotiating with North Korea, today a more conciliatory tone from the White House.
He has made it clear to me to continue my diplomatic efforts, which we are, and we will, as I've told others, those diplomatic efforts will continue until the first bomb drops.
The president not seeking a war despite tweets to the so-called Rocket Man and threats of a possible attack against the rogue nation.
Mr. President, will you attack North Korea?
The president's team is also defending his decision Friday to decertify the 2015 international nuclear deal with Iran, saying it's violating the agreement.
When the international community gives Iran a pass for all of these things, the ballistic missile testing, the arms sales, their support of terrorism, and they look the other way, all in the name of keeping a deal, then you're looking at something that's too big to fail.
Haley says the U.S. is committed to preventing Iran from becoming the next North Korea. The president wants Congress to pass tougher sanctions against Iran, which Republicans support.
There are no limitations on Iran's ability to develop ballistic missiles, including an intercontinental ballistic missile, which could reach us.
But Democrats and many world leaders are critical of the president's action. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
In Northern California, wildfires are still burning. At least 40 people are dead and nearly 6,000 homes destroyed. Tonight, fire crews say they're making progress. About 11,000 firefighters continue to battle the flames that have burned over 200,000 acres. Hundreds of people are missing. Some communities are still under threat, with new evacuations being ordered.
And at that point, a huge sea of police officers from all over the state basically came in with their bullhorns, mandatory evacuation.
Firefighters are warning residents that conditions can change in an instant. 2 roommates in Santa Rosa, California narrowly escaped a fire after winds pushed it towards them. This right here is video of their brush with death. They say they weren't under evacuation orders but could see the fire moving in on them. They grabbed their 4 dogs and were able to drive through the fire to safety.
Almost a month after Hurricane Maria, 85% of Puerto Rico is still without power. Even the capital city of San Juan is relying on backup generators. News 4 Tucson's Gabe Gutierrez has a look at what's ahead for the recovering island.
Tonight, hurricane-ravaged Puerto Rico is desperately racing to fix its power grid. The governor here now setting an ambitious goal, restoring 95% of electricity by mid-December.
We're going to need all hands on deck.
Just off the U.S. territory's southeastern coast is Vieques.
It's a magical place.
The island of 9,000 people was shredded by Maria. Locals estimate almost a third have already left.
Food, water, we need a quicker response.
The lines for fuel stretching for blocks. Supplies are scarce.
A lot of the shelves are empty.
They fill them up and they're gone.
Vieques is only reachable by sea or air. For days after the storm, no phones, no power. Now the National Guard is here. Cell phone service just starting to return.
A lot of folks immediately think of medicine and food, but communication is just as critical.
A group called Vieques Love has already raised more than $800,000 for the island's recovery.
I think it prevented chaos, that it saved lives.
It was ravaged.
William Day has lived here for 17 years. He refuses to believe his own slice of paradise is lost.
Why is it so important for you to stay here?
I'm a fighter.
Some things are worth fighting for.
About 30% of the island still doesn't have drinkable water. The death toll is at 48. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
And Ireland is bracing for a hurricane. Hurricane Ophelia is heading toward the Emerald Isle with winds up to 80 miles per hour. It has weakened from a Category 2 to a Category 1. The storm is expected to make landfall tomorrow, bringing heavy rains and storm surges.
2 weeks after the deadliest shooting in U.S. history, Las Vegas is seeing some changes in its tourism industry. After 58 people were killed during a music festival, electronic billboards now promote phone lines for victims and their families. Analysts are predicting the city will see a short-term drop in visitors, and the popular "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas" slogan has also been put on hold. Meanwhile, the online retailer Zappos is offering to pay for the funerals of victims. The Nevada-based company says that offer includes everything from burial costs to flower arrangements and even transportation. They've also started a donation fund and pledged to match all donations up to $1 million. You can find a link to that fund on KVOA.com.
A man accused of making a bomb threat at one of the country's busiest airports says he was just joking. Spirit Airlines employees say 70-year-old John Park claimed to have explosives in his bag after he was asked to pay a baggage fee. The terminal Park was in at was New York's LaGuardia Airport, then had to be evacuated while the bomb squad looked for explosives. Park says it was all a joke that got taken the wrong way.
They just overreacted. I'm an Asian, have different culture making joke here and there, but they overreacted. That's all.
No explosives were found. Park was charged with making a terroristic threat and was released. And coming up on News 4 Tucson at 10, a popular park is being transformed. Why horses are being replaced with music.
And a U of A researcher says he has a new way to fight rattlesnake bites and how it could save your life.
All right, Nick, let's head on over to the east side. This is your News 4 Tucson Skynet camera right there at Broadway and Wilmot. Temperatures once again today riding about 10 degrees above average, but finally some more fall-like numbers are on the way. We'll let you know when coming up.
Investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson.